I promised Dennis that I could make it through this without crying, which, if you know me, is a tall order on a good day. But I was not trained by Zack Allen for nothing, so here we go. My name is Ashley Latimer, and I was KCT's first intern and its most recent guest director on their 100th production of 101 Dalmatians. It's their first production of that, but the 100th production. I'm truly unspeakably honored to be asked to speak here today with so many of my theatrical heroes. Literally almost everyone on this stage has hired me or taught me back when I was the troublemaker backstage for getting her shoes to go on in Lysistrata at the Actors Co-op. And so I'm so honored to speak about a man who not only was my mentor, but the mentor to so many of us. The first play I ever saw was Katie Alley's A Midsummer Night's Dream during my freshman year at Bearden High School. And the most recent play I saw was Dennis Perkins' Macbeth at at the Children's Theater. Both of those changed me, and in between, I was lucky enough to meet Zack Allen because 10 years ago, alongside Jenny Ballard, he decided to set out to make sure that the children and young people of this community, no matter their background or what school they went to, didn't have to wait till high school to see their first play. Moreover, that they wouldn't just be seeing the plays, they'd be making them. That was the heartbeat behind every decision Zack made at KCT, and it's the mission of everyone who works there. In spite of any differences in other opinions we might hold, Zack and I had differences. More than once, I left the theater seething or near tears because I disagreed with a note he had given me. But we always worked it out because we knew we were making something bigger and more important than ourselves. It's a lesson that every KCT kid learns and learns early, which is that theater is a team sport, and the work is bigger than any one person. We all rise and fall and rise again together. And for so many of us, Zack provided that opportunity to be a part of a team for the first time. He carved out a space of togetherness for the kids who were still looking for their place at the table. Those who at school were used to being too much or not enough. At KCT, we were just right. He made space for us to be our best and weirdest selves. He made space and then he called us to fill that space. And if perhaps you contained multitudes of your best self, if you weren't quite sure what role you wanted to settle upon, you had a place there too. Because where else besides KCT can a 17-year-old stage manage, assistant direct, and design the sets for 101 Dalmatians? Where else can a 6-year-old have her costumes designed by 2 high schoolers, receive her entrance cues from a 15-year-old, and get her pre-show speeches from a 16-year-old and a college student? And have the props for her first production be designed by her older sister, who began her own acting career at the same theater 10 years ago. That structure is possible and continues because Zack took us seriously. When it became time for me to begin directing and teaching on my own at KCT, it never occurred to me to expect anything less than the best from my actors and my students, because Zack had never expected anything less of me. He gave us the safe space to fail, but more than that, he gave us the freedom to succeed. He knew young people were capable of creating important, worthwhile, and stunning work, so that's what he asked of us. And when you told Zack you had a bold dream, whether it was stepping up for the lead role, or designing costumes for the first time, or becoming an intern, or winning a Tony Award, he never shrugged it off as too lofty. When I told him I wanted to become the first person in my family to go to college, he helped me break that goal down into measurable pieces and Many have mentioned how much Zack sacrificed and struggled when the theater was first opening. And even when he was barely living on anything himself in order to give as much as possible to the theater, whenever I had trouble paying my bills or making ends meet, he always found another job for me at the theater. He treated young people like teammates, like partners in the business, like fellow artists on the journey. He made you work hard for his praise, but when you got it, you knew you'd done your best. Too often, those in leadership roles hold the glory and the spotlight for themselves. That wasn't so with Zack. The moment someone was